Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're playing a game called Wet Candy. It's developed by Twist and Scream, and you can find the game on itch.io. And as always, at the end of the video, I will give a detailed review and give the game my final judgment. Now, I usually do a little title card or description of the game, but it's right here on the main menu, so I'll read it for you. There are candy under the pool. Not so sweet, and definitely not for everyone. I haven't really been on itch.io a lot lately, so I'm trying to get back into that and check out what's going on over here. And this is a part of, I guess, an anthology of games, more or less. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but as you can see in the bottom right, it says more stories. So we'll see how this one goes, and if I like it, we'll try out the other one. So let's begin. So you're not from here. Then where are you from? Oh, I've heard of that place. On TV. You want to be friends with me? Okay. Linda? Who are you talking to? My new friend. She's in the pool. Water ghost. You're a bit old for imaginary friends, Linda. Really? You hid candy underwater? Oh no. Let me help you bring it back up. Collect all the candy. In the pool? Dear God. This is really creepy. It's storming outside, so if you hear any of that, I'm sorry. Sensitivity is crazy. Okay. Okay, here we go. Progress. This is kind of eerie, not gonna lie. Even though nothing's really happened. Very liminal place we're in. Our parents were just watching us, a little kid, jump in the deepest pool ever for some reason. They're not doing anything about it. Oh no. Ew. Strange. What's going on? Whoa. Not seeing anything. I don't have an objective anymore either. I still have this pink arrow. This dithering is crazy. I was gonna say my computer, but I was gonna say YouTube. It's not like dithering, so. Oh, is there no floor here anymore? Dear God, this is terrifying. Green dot indicates you were swimming in the right direction. I don't like this at all. Are we swimming back up out of the water? Oh no. Help! Can't move. Oh, it says 6-7. Oh. Is that like some kind of military boat? It looks like it has a turret on it. Coast Guard or Navy or something. Okay, we can go back underwater. I misunderstood. Following the green dot, which keeps changing. Here we go. Oh, frick. Dead bodies. That's a foot. They look burned. This is really disorienting. Whoa, what the? Oh. Hmm. Oh no. Give my daughter back. Some kind of like, is this like a war story? Boy, she looks rough. I guess they both do. Go this way? Saw a path and I took it. Oh, hello. That looked like the little person in our pool. Kid. Whatever. There's an invisible wall here. So I can't move anymore. This looks like a different country. Like this isn't the US. My first guess was Vietnam. Hey, she's on the bridge. What do I do? Oh. I hit spacebar. She didn't do anything to anyone. Oof.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot. Oh. Ooh. It looks like they're bashing their head in with their rifle. Got pretty dark. Hey, stop it. Hey. All right. Maybe we follow that down the river. Or go in the river. Okay. Swimming underwater is really spooky. I do like the, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, swimming underwater so deep that you, like, come up somewhere else. It, like, transitions us. Like, what do they call that? Like, non-Euclidean game design or something? That might be the wrong term for what's happening here, but... Oh! Oh, are we the... Huh. What are you doing up there? It's not safe. Someone's coming. You should go. Can you hear me? Oh, we're playing. My bad, my bad. Maybe we go check on them. There is no sprint, by the way. In case you were wondering. Oh, they heard us. Hello. Mr. Soldier? Dad? Oh my god. That is so creepy. Ooh. Yikes. Very dark. Threw us into the... Oh, but we're standing there. Oh my gosh, this is tripping me out. Oh my god, it's red. But not sure what we do, to be honest. Oh! Okay. That's a change of perspective. Gosh, I went underwater, obviously, but that harsh red to this was just crazy. Trying to piece this together, I suppose. I guess it's almost like we're seeing it from the perspective of the child he killed. It's almost like the spirit. What candy? Oh, what did that say? Grime? Something? Interesting. Very interesting game. Very short, obviously. Runtime 7 minutes, but that was pretty cool. So now, as usual, I'll review the game. And if you're just here for the gameplay, I appreciate you hanging out. I hope to see you again. So, as usual with my reviews, I start with the visuals. I like the game visually. It's fine. I don't really have much to say about it. I think the dithering is really intense, but other than that, I think it's acceptable. Very retro styled, very retro, aesthetic focused. And I like the lighting and the changes of environment I thought were pretty cool. The way we would swim down and then sort of we're continuing to swim down, but then we would come up out of water somewhere else. And I like how that was presented. It was very, very strange, and I thought it was very cool. I like the main menu, actually. I think the text makes it look a little messy, I guess, but I like to nitpick main menus. It's one of my favorite things about games, is main menus. It might sound weird, but it's important on how you present your game right out of the gate. And I think this is fine. But I still think the text being sort of overlaid over the CD case is a little odd looking to me. But aside from that, I think the main menu is also presented well. I think the dithering filter, whatever you want to call it, is really intense. And I don't quite like it personally. It's more of a personal preference, I suppose. But from VHS filters to noise filters to dithering in games, I very much appreciate what they're going for, but I would prefer them to be a little less intense just in general. I don't know. I think it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. It's a little too much, but another personal nitpick, so no big deal. Aside from that, I'd say the visual presentation is totally fine in this game. So great job. Now, in terms of audio, the only thing going on here on the main menu is just like the whirring of like a CD player of some kind or a disc player, whatever you want to call that, a CD drive. And I don't quite like it that much, but that's okay. The only reason I'm listening to it so much, obviously, is because I'm sitting here talking so much. But of course, I can turn to my PC audio a little bit. That will help me. And I think there's not much going on in terms of audio. There's some footsteps. There's some little mumbles here when dialogue appears. And then somebody will say something or, hey, little stuff like that. I think it's totally fine. It's very subtle, so it doesn't bother me at all. I'm very critical of noises being overused for dialogue appearing on screen. A lot of indie games do that, where like when text is slowly appearing on screen, there'll be some kind of like or some kind of jibber jabber or weird, super loud, harsh typewriting sound. I'm glad you went with a more subtle approach in that regard. Aside from that, the game is very quiet. Maybe that's the point. Really make you unsettled. You know, the calmness of everything is sort of deceitful because of just how violent the game becomes later down the road. It just kind of eases you into it and knows where to be subtle. And I believe it was subtle pretty much throughout the game. Maybe too subtle. Maybe. I would prefer maybe a little bit of ambience, maybe here and there, to really accentuate the themes. But obviously, if what you're going for is a more subtle, controlled sound design for music, I totally understand where you're coming from there. So just more of an observation, I suppose. Of course, there's the sound of swimming through the water. There's the sound of the guy bashing the kid's head in with his rifle. Not much else going on for audio, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it's the end of the world, but definitely I think could be improved upon in this setting. Like I said, I think it would have really helped accentuate and lift up and support the themes of this game. But more of a personal pick and an observation, so I'm not holding it against the game necessarily. I just think I would have preferred a little bit more ambience is all I'm saying. Now, in terms of mechanics, the game is pretty straightforward. Not much to say about mechanics. You collect some candy from the spirit of the child, which I'll get into very soon. And as we swim down through the pool and come up in other areas, we get to discover more what's going on behind the scenes, more about our father and what he did allegedly or potentially in Vietnam. And I found that misdirection to be really interesting because I expected it more just to be about like a ghost in a pool, but it was far more than that. But like I said, we'll get more into that in a moment. But other than that, mechanically, there's really straightforward, very simple game, which I think is fine. It's more of a narrative-driven game, I would say. So the fact that the game is also 7 minutes long, I don't expect there to be like a lot to do in the game that would distract us away from the intent of the game. So while mechanically the game is very simple, I think it's totally acceptable. Now, in terms of story and concept, and I'm going to just sort of wing it on this. This is my theory on the game. So at first, I thought it was just a haunted pool scenario. However, I believe that it's more or less talking about or presenting that our father's past has echoed through time up to now in the present. And that spirit of the child that he murdered in the war, let's say, has now made its way to us. And it's like a vengeful spirit. And like I said, this is just a theory. And the vengeful spirit has found his child and convinced them to swim in the water, which I assume led to their drowning. I found it odd that a bag floated up to the surface, which may or maybe just be more of like symbolism for us, the player, rather than for the actual characters in the game. But basically his past caught up to him and took from him what he took from others. And I find that plot to be very poignant, especially related to war times. And it's very dark. It's very sad. It's very tragic. And like I said, I could be wrong on some details. I was under the impression maybe that we are a child that he took from that place, but I don't believe he did. I think it was implying that he put them in a bag and killed them so he didn't have to look at them while he killed them. And that past of his, those choices, caught up to him and took his child. So that's where I'm going with on the story. And I think that's really, like I said, poignant, very dark, very, very sad, very tragic. And I think it was presented fairly well for the short runtime. So I would say a totally fine job with the story. No complaints for me. And the overall concept, I would say, is pretty cool too. I like little bite-sized games like this. I should play more of them. And like it says, more stories in the bottom right of this main menu. I'll definitely check those out and see how they are and sort of maybe make a collection of my own playing through all the games from this developer, and we'll see how it goes. So I like very concise, to the point games like this. So great job with the concept. Now, in terms of performance and settings, I would say the game performed totally fine. No issues for me whatsoever. So great job there. All right, well, I went in-game just to double check if there were settings in-game, but I didn't I couldn't find any menu to pop up or anything like that. So there are no settings for this game, but I don't think they're necessarily a requirement for this short of an experience that was well crafted enough to have no issues with its performance. Its sound design, I don't think as the way it was presented necessarily needed a lot of sound options either. So across the board, I think the game was well crafted enough to not require settings. So the fact that they're missing, I won't hold against the game necessarily. So no big deal there. And I noticed while I relaunched the game or played the game again that the character we play as a young girl said, "Oh, I've heard of that place on TV," which must be the Vietnam War that she heard about on the TV. So that I think that further supports my theory of what's going on here. So very cool. So my final judgment for Wet Candy is I would say it's very good. I had a great time with this game. It's very short. There's not much that you actually do in the game aside from experience the narrative that's been presented. But I think it's a very poignant and very concise, short, sweet, and to the point game. I really enjoyed its story. I like its concept in general and the way it's designed. And I think it's very well crafted for such a short game. So really cool stuff here. And like I said, we'll try out your other stories here sometime soon. I think that'll be a lot of fun, especially since you can kind of just jump in, get them over with, and just experience your artistic expression through these games. And I think that's a lot of fun to do with short games, long games, demos, whatever I do here. It's a good time. So I really like what's going on here with this. So really, really cool stuff. I had a fun time with this. So keep up the great work, and I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and your work. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? You just want to say hi? Let me know what's up. Don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything and go play this game for yourself and form your own opinion. I'm sure the developer would really appreciate your feedback as well as mine. And if you'd like to support my channel, hit subscribe, leave a like, comment, share the video, and also have links to my socials in the description if that interests you. Now, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day, but I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me. And don't forget.